Hi, you're watching Investor Insights, and in this video I'd like to talk about credit. More specifically, credit being the lifeline of an economy. That statement is the biggest load of bull that I've ever heard. Credit is the lifeline of an economy only when that economy is one of consumption, especially debt finance consumption. In a perfect world that's not fixed, controlled, manipulated via central banks and policymakers, you've got economies, companies, individuals. It doesn't matter if it's micro, macro, it's all the same. People really don't need debt. Debt is just something that's created so as to, in the modern world, consume. As I go back to a normal, perfect world, people go, they work hard, they sacrifice a lot of their consumption by saving in the hope that those savings can go into investments that in due time will enhance their consumption. Now, when you have debt put into the picture, or credit as they want to call it, credit is what destroys you in the long term, especially when you can't afford the debt anymore. Because normally debt begets more debt, and so on. And if you can't imagine how big that spiral goes, look at the US economy. $17 trillion worth of debt. No wonder they go out and say, well, credit is the lifeline of the economy. They have to say that because it is. If America couldn't borrow any more money, even just to pay off or service its debt, it can't function. The US economy, or basically any Western democratic society, is debt financed consumption economies. So credit is their lifeline. But technically, in an ideal world, credit is not the lifeline. You want to know what the lifeline is? Cash flow. And to be more precise, positive cash flow. If you can't have positive cash flow, then you're screwed. And cash flow on your balance sheet or just in your everyday life should be such that you make more money than you spend. Plain and simple. And if you can't understand that, then it's time to go back to preschool. If you spend more than what you earn, then you're not going to succeed in life. And that simple concept is something that the American policymakers and the American central bankers don't seem to understand. They have to spend a lot more than they earn so as to get the next guy elected, or to get this current guy re-elected. It doesn't matter. It's all politics, it's all a lot of nonsense. In the real world, average Joe Blow, to you and I, positive cash flow is your lifeline. Positive cash flow is the most important aspect of your financial life. And if you happen to be spending a lot more than you earn, which is 99% of all people out there, you now know what an ugly world you're living in. Now, I'm not making these videos to present an ideal world to you. I'm not here to present some real warped ideology or some philosophy that I read about or I'm going through myself. No, I just like to be realistic. And you can't be any more realistic than to face facts, especially when they're staring you in the face. Credit is not a lifeline for an economy, a company, or an individual. Positive cash flow is actually the lifeblood of your existence. So you cannot go out there and spend beyond your means. You cannot go and acquire more debt so as to increase your spending to make yourself look better. But just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it as well. It's crazy. The whole concept is flawed. And this is where the American economy is so distorted, because this mentality of more debt is good is so destructive that I can't see a way out. I cannot see any way that America can address this structural imbalance. This mentality is going to cause the greatest collapse in the history of mankind. Mark my word, it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that when is nearing by the day.